Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2, the finals of the qualifiers for the WardiTV Spring Championship. The best of the best have survived the winter, a troublesome endeavor, and will now compete for their spot. You should know both the names I'm about to introduce, but I would not deserve your like and your subscribe if I didn't introduce them with all of the drama they deserve. Let me introduce to you in the bottom left, from Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it is ZEST. The man who is so confident in his builds, win or lose, that it's possibly some sort of personality either flaw or he's a bit of a sociopath, just a little bit. Almost on the entire other end of the spectrum. A man, if Zest is the calm, cool, collected, nearly entirely unemotional rock of StarCraft, he is the water that weathers it down, the tears that Terrans have cried for years, the GSL and WCS BlizzCon World Champion. In the top right, it's BYUN'S. No, Jimmy. Anyways. Close. Okay, Zest going with... these two facing off, the thing is they have kind of similar styles. While Zest may have a casual disregard for his own safety and the mental safety of those around him, BYUN'S is kind of the opposite but the same, and opposites attract. They're both have pretty unique builds and styles and are willing to try new things for one reason or another. They're willing to, like Zest may just slap down a Dark Shrine with no unit. Like, he may. One Stalker, okay. Maybe even a second Stalker, but he may just add a Dark Shrine over here, scouting in the corner. And, in fact, I think that's very likely, as Dark Shrines have never gone anywhere, but they're back in action. And in the top right is BYUN'S, who has microed Marines and Medevacs and other units, but mostly Marines and Medevacs. Like, BYUN'S has defined Diamond Terrans, permanently Diamond Terrans build orders for like 4 years at least, and counting. And BYUN'S went to the South Korean military, as is mandatory for many young Koreans, unfortunately. But he comes back and it's like, BYUN'S, do you have a new style? Do you have a new strategy? Have you been thinking of like the best way? No. He comes back and he's still microing Marines and Medevacs, because if it ain't broke, why fix it? Though the thing is, players have had a couple years to kind of figure that one out. So he's met with a little more resistance than maybe he has in the past, but still finding, like, he's playing Zest. Zest, who just kind of waltzes into the round of 8 of essentially every single tournament. No one's quite sure exactly how he gets there, but Zest doesn't care. I'm reminded of, I think it was GSL Super Tournament. I don't remember exactly who he beat, but he walked over some top-tier players, and then he lost to Trap. I'm not remembering this. I'm not remembering this as dramatically. I think it was 3-0 parting, 3-0 down, so Protoss, and then he just decided not to show up for his Trap match. Almost literally. Like, he still had his coat on. It's very important, like, because if you watched him in IEM, you gotta have the hoodie. The power hoodie is important. I mean, I could talk all day about Zest clothing. I have in the past. But when he comes into the studio and never takes the coat off, well, there's a big difference between jacket on and jacket off Zest. And I hope we see jacket off Zest here today. Moving on. That's a Warp Prism. Blink is done. And the classic exchange. BYUN'S has not scouted. He was ready to do a tank push at probably the least opportune moment. BYUN'S was ready to move out, but immediately he salvaged a bunker, which Zest now just walks in, kills the building bunker. He's weathering the tank fire to whittle down the Marines. There's a second tank on the high ground. He could have just killed the tank. I'm not sure why he didn't just kill the tank. Zest just waltzes in. BYUN has to rebuild all of his defenses and hide in his base. So this is where we are now. Behind this, Zest is going to be adding on his third. He's got a robo bay, he's got a forge, a remarkably standard build. It's not like Has. Zest isn't Has. Zest will still play standard when it suits him. It's just if he doesn't feel like it that day, then he's not going to do it. But here we have Blink into robo bay into a safe third. The thing is, the third base is actually so slow. Because sometimes, like, when you're pressuring a Terran like this, if you're not going all in, you want to take the third as quickly as possible, so it's done. You got shield battery overcharge, stuff like that. It's a fake. It's such a fake. Oh my god, he's really trying to bait those units out of position. He's got an observer to watch how many units are out of position. Though he didn't move the Stalkers, so I'm not sure if he was really just scouting, or if he was trying to bait that out. Anyway, so Zest's third will be done, but he's not going to get a huge economic lead off it, because it did kind of look like he wanted to do a big blink pressure. Because not taking the third means you want to keep warping in Stalkers, but then he saw a couple tanks and I guess changed his mind a bit. There's going to be Colossi on the way. We're not going with the charge follow-up, not the map. I mean, we're going to get charged, but it's not like right at. It's like for dessert. After you've got your extended thermal lance, after you got your Colossi, you finish off your entree. The appetizer was going first. I'm hungry. Sorry. The appetizer of Blink Stalkers, and then for your entree, you got a third base, you got some splash damage, you got +1, and then for dessert, some charge lots. And a lot of Protoss players are known to overdo it on dessert. But which is kind of weird for beings that don't have mouths, but here we are. So now BYUN he took a third, begrudgingly, as many Terrans do in this matchup. Scans Zest's third. He's gonna see the gases. He sees a shield battery. He sees enough probes to commit to an attack. The Warp Prism is looking for an opportunity. BYUN almost getting lucky on that. But he did have to keep about a dozen supply. Oh, and here we go. The classic 2 medevacs full of Marines and Marauders. This is, now we're watching a BYUN game. He flies right out. Zest, his second pylon is the scouting. He built that so long ago. Zest War Prism, he correctly recognizes there's like no anti-air. There's like 3 Marines. The Blink Stalkers and the Colossi just jumping, but the double drop at the back. All right, we turned it up to 100. There's not enough energy for a recall into the main. The bio army getting caught. There are charge lots. It's only almost entirely factory units. A huge warp-in for Zest on the other side of the map. A lot of the infrastructure is going for the pylons. One of the Korean casters might have something to say about that, but not the ones that actually speak Korean. Meanwhile, Forge targeted down. Blink Stalkers all over the third. BYUN gonna be forced to pull the weight. He's repairing underneath the Stalkers. It's actually kind of working. Zest is losing all his infrastructure. Meanwhile, though, the orbital goes down. Everything's happening. The Widow Mines and the tanks are here. That's also happening. Meanwhile, Zest is scrambling back home. The Widow Mines find a connection. Where did all these probes come from? This is not where you want to be. Zest is losing so much. BYUN is remaining at a relatively high supply here. And they're just probes. They're refugee probes everywhere. Those Widow Mines are pretty dangerous, but he blocks on the tanks. Are there any observers? He's gonna blink out of this. There is no armory for BYUN, unfortunately, which means the Widow Mines will go down. And where? Okay, what just happened? There are 3 medevacs for a Marine and Marauder, but I mean, like, can never have too many. BYUN knows. It feels like BYUN now has the momentum to carry through. Some more probes are targeted down. Terran going to be a little less sad about the lack of a third than your average Protoss. So I don't know what just happened, but it just spontaneously exploded into a half base trade. And you know what? Well, we've had first base trade. Have you tried second base trade, they say? A Colossus face tanks a Widowmine. Here comes Beyond in for another round. The double drops on all sides. Almost nobody has anything to defend. Recall is on cooldown. There's no coming home. And by the time it's off cooldown, there might be no home to come back to. Here we go again. Oh my god. The natural is gone. Blitzkrieg. But meanwhile, the main base. And then, Zest... Does he have a probe on the map? Does Zest have a probe? He needs a probe. If he doesn't get a probe, I don't know what's happening. The armies, he's evacuating SCVs. The Blink Stalkers try to chase. Buildings flying, which is a marked distance. The probes are escaping. A couple Widowmines take a hit, but the probes are getting out. Zest has enough for another command, not a command center. That'd be impressive. But inside of Nexus, he's not rebuilt this base, and it's 11 minutes. And Beyond is flying his buildings, and Zest is being revealed. But the drops hunting the probes. They go through the speed jaws. He needs to survive. This is one of the cleanest base trades. Leave it to these two players to just punch each other in the face so goddamn hard. We're being revealed at before your average gold player could max out against the easy AI. This is what's happening. There's a Colossus and a Prism. Zest rebuilt his base. Beyond's flying his across the map. 86 supply across the board. Zest has less probes than he started with, and Beyond has even less workers than that. He found the orbital! He found it! It couldn't have gotten that far. They don't fly that fast. The orbital goes down, and Zest is just pulling this one out of who knows where. He took his jacket off and rummaged through the pockets for this potential win, and right now, Beyond is building a command center in Zest's main while Zest expands to Beyond's third. Zest realizes he still has a cyber core for now, and he slaps down shield batteries with the rest of his resources. Meanwhile, Beyond is he's a long way from ever building more units. Zest, almost as far. Because both of them have double the supply that they can support. The thing is, Beyond lost his orbital. What is going on? Oh my god. The first round wasn't... Oh, that knifes the SCVs with a Colossus drop. That leaves Beyond at just 2. He has 2 as the Colossus juggling. Beyond, Zest looked like he was base trading a Terran, which by conventional wisdom is not a great idea. But Zest does nothing conventional, and he is wisdom. So at this point, with the shield batteries, the final battle! The shield battery overcharge! Here come the Widowmines! Big hits! Battery overcharge doing so much! One Colossus down! Not picked back up into the prism, but Zest wins! Zest wins that! Yep. I'm sorry, Jimmy? Uh-huh. All right, let's go to game 2. Interesting game to open things up. Once again, you can see the play. Oh, Jimmy! I know, StarCraft is a pretty intense game. But what insanity. And I don't use that as a clickbait title term. Literally insane. Like, who does that? He's like, well, that was pretty rough. And base trading a Terran's pretty bad, so I'm gonna do it again. Like, what? And he just does it. Like, it's nice when my descriptions and of players just come to fruition so quickly. Beyond flailing around at great speed. Beyond just kind of found himself in good spots. and worked with it. He was working it from all the angles. Drops and tanks and widow mines and buildings everywhere, whereas Zest just confidently strode across while he was being revealed. There was no hesitation. He just walked in and blinked and whatever else. But like, if Zest is the most likely to be a serial killer of any professional StarCraft player, which means that he probably isn't one. But if there was a competition of which StarCraft 2 pro gamer was most likely to be a serial killer, shortlist. I'm just saying. I don't. I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying if I had to pick one. Oh. This time there was a scout from either player. I'm not sure if Zest probe scouted last time. BYUN'S still... Like, this is... Now, this is one of my pet peeves. BYUN' is like the stereotype of all the things... He does all the things I don't think Terrans, including BYUN', should do. Like, one is just double medevac drops most of the time. Just generally. Like, people have been dealing with them for over a decade. They don't really work. And even when they do, they usually cost you a lot. Two is like, we're just not gonna scout because I'll save 200 minerals or whatever. It's not 200, it's less than that. But I'll save a few minerals if I don't scout. And then what happens? You salvage your bunker, you walk out of your base, and there are 7 blink stalkers on your lawn, and now you're really wishing you scouted a little bit. Like, I mean, part of these stereotypes, many of them exist because BYUN' has been so successful for so long. He's setting a bad example. He's setting a bad example for Terrans for the better part of a decade now. Like, no. It's perfectly fine to send an SCV out and see if, I don't know, he's building a gateway outside your base. Whereas Zest is like... The thing is, Zest just varies his play up enough. Like, normal non-psychopaths have habits, right? Like, they have habits that you can replicate. Like, you can kind of predict an average person. Like, they're probably going to wake up around this time or react in this way. Honestly, I feel there is no way to tell whether Zest will just pull a probe at the beginning of the game. Like, half the time. It's not quite half. It's like 56% of the time, Zest has a probe going across the map in the first 30 seconds. Almost never cannon rushes. I haven't yet connected any sort of, like, on this map or at this point in a series. No, I feel like if the mood strikes him... Oh my god, how did he know? The factory even moving, which may have given it away a bit. Is he just flying like that to prove he can? Well, he knows that path is safe, so he's backtracking it. At least for now. So, against all wisdom whatsoever, BYUN' is now going cloak. That has to be a fake cloak. There's no, like... There's no way it actually goes cloak. Doesn't make any sense. Zesta obviously sees the mine. He knows where it is. He could tag it. Oh, he missed. What? How? Airball. How do you... Just when you think he's got a lock on this game, he just flips his controller thumbstick a little off the mine. Like, he knows that mine is there. He knows. But he's been flying around it. I don't know why he missed. I don't know what happened. Maybe he was trying to, like, hit multiple, but there's only one mine. He has to see that. Yeah.
Research.
Why don't you tag it? Use the revelation. Why doesn't he do it? I don't understand. I can't... Wait, did he actually just go cloak? BYUN, with balls of steel, in the face of Phoenix Oracle, just goes Cloak Banshee. Which is on its face a dumb idea. He's targeting, like... It's a dumb idea because he's already seen that Zest... Yeah, okay, well, this was terrible. Yeah, you're not Zest. Okay, you can't... He just already has... You already knew he had the counter before you started Cloak. What are you doing? He's trying to be Zest here. Well, this Banshee not gonna get anything. Okay, so... Meanwhile, the Banshee found the area where the shield battery doesn't quite cover, but this was, like, not good. This was way too many levels deep of a mind game. Okay, it's like, well, he'll never expect me to go for the one thing he's countering. What was that? Why? He saw at great length Oracle Phoenix. He's like, no. Cloak man, I don't know, It's better than Observers. Oracle Phoenix is the only thing that can even reliably kill Banshees, because Banshees can fly away from ground units. Observers don't kill them. Phoenix has killed him. Stalkers are unreliable. Oh, Zest. Wait, what? Does he have charge? He does. Wait, where did you get that from? I don't... There's a Twilight in here somewhere. Ah, yes, but this, the third Cloak Banshee, might actually do a bunch of damage. Does he have a recall? He does. Okay, so he just recalls. Here comes Zest into the natural. Where's the sentry? Where did the sentry go? It died. The sentry that could have force-fielded the ramp and probably won Zest the game. I don't know how it died, but it seems like it was the first thing that died. So... Yeah, a force field on the ramp would have been really rough there. But Zest just kind of... Okay. So here we are. This game looking, I mean... A little more back and forth, but more confusingly so. Zest just has a ton of Phoenixes. Like, Phoenix Charge Lot is the build. He's been kind of goaded into it. That's not another Banshee, right? It's just a Marine drop out there. There's just like 24 charge lots on the third. So, he's not going to get the orbital, but it's still 24 charge lots, which... Yep, there's some Widow Mines, just picking them up, picking them apart. There are 2 shield batteries in the main, which is about 2 more shield batteries than BYUN can deal with back here. But that one Marine drop did bait Zest into coming back home, so... Pick up the Marines. It's actually not going. He gets the Oracle. Yeah, this is... That was the real value. He snipes the Oracle. Will Zest remake it? No, he's moving on. He's getting Blink. He's got Storm on the way. He's got a Robo and a Robo Bay. So that's a second Robo done. He's getting everything else. With 58 probes, because that's the number. At some point, he just stops building probes. He's like, that's it? All right, I'm done. Like, he put in his 2 probes notice, and he said, that's it. There will be no more probes built this game. 58, it's like 2.5 bases of saturation, which is all you need. He's got 1,500 minerals in the bank. He must be right. Like, he must understand the Protoss economy better than any of us, because I would say it's impressively inefficient to have 1,700 minerals, even 1,000 after warping in a round of Zealots. But Zest would say, "Watch me win this game." Okay. 11 SCVs. The Warp Prism's still chilling, which is risky until you realize, oh, is he really gonna... God damn it, Zest. And he gets out. Okay. He's now building 2 Colossi with plenty of Stalkers and getting Blink done. Hold my bank! I'm winning this match. BYUN is going heavily, like he's gonna have 2-2 pretty soon. The Colossi kind of need thermal lance, especially against BYUN. This is BYUN's best chance to do deadly damage. Well, yeah, probably, as there's Storm on the... Are there any other Templar? He just warped in his first Templar. Colossi coming out. Both Robos are here. Oh, here are the Phoenixes. Okay, hello. Yeah, well, now that I look at it, this doesn't... BYUN's working around the edges here, but... There's not that many charge left. Wait a second. Okay. I don't think Zest has enough units. BYUN doesn't think Zest has enough units. And now Zest will begrudgingly acknowledge that he might not have enough units. So Zest just kind of loses everything. Eventually these units are... Oh, now we're chrono boosting. Okay, alright. Yeah, it would have been nice to have that, like, an entire army ago. Those Widow Mines are going to be rough. Yep, and that... There go those. So BYUN hasn't won yet, but Zest only has 61 probes. So the issue with having only 60 probes is when you do pray, like, if something terrible happens, which is rare, and you lose, say, all of your expensive units in your army and many charge lots, you don't really have that much economy to fall back on. Because you only built 60 probes or so. Fortunately, none of those things happened to Zest, and he's perfectly fine and not down 30 supply. BYUN does have 4th Command Center on the way. He's got 2-2 against +2/+0. So, but his units still haven't been healed from all their stim addiction. Yeah, there are no Archons. There's not enough charge lots. The upgrades are not good. There's some Templar. Oh, he got a good EMP off. BYUN is now playing a little timid because I think he's like, wait, did I just kill that whole army? But he had all the good units. Yeah, but he didn't have Storm, and now he does. The problem is, he's leaving Zest alive. Zest is like, no, come and kill me. This army cannot counter. This army dies to BYUN, and Zest is chasing him off his lawn. He's just like growling at him, like, he's blinking all over him, nipping at his heels. But just straight up, that army. And he's like, you know what takes micro? Templar. And I quote Zest in perfect English. Fuck that shit. He morphs his nearly full energy Templar into Archon, so that way he doesn't have to deal with that, and loads up some disruptors into his warp prism, because that's the kind of game we're having. He now has no Templar. He's just built the... I mean, I appreciate that. An acknowledgement of how boring Templar are, but like... Yeah, in that war, he's scared of the prism. The problem is the prism can get shot down by Vikings, which would be very bad. I don't know what he's using. I guess he's trying to wait for +3. I guess BYUN will be very surprised when those disruptor balls come out. Zest is really holding on to him. All right, he whips him out! Zest big balls! Okay, well, and then he loses. Okay, well, he died like he lived. Dramatically. All right. Wow. Zest has taken the reins of both of these matches. One way and another. BYUN is just along for the ride, which is not something that often happens to someone of BYUN's caliber. BYUN is usually the one dictating the pace of the match. I gotta say, Zest using the Neeb portrait, by the way. Jimmy! That's an interesting shout out there. Gotta respect it. Okay, Zest, are we probe scouting this game? No. Yeah. I can't, like, he actively... They didn't get EMP'd that I know of. He had Templar was Storm. And he's just like, no. Someone, like, if someone offered you $30, not 20, 30, like a significant, like, it's not just a 20, it's not like an afterthought. If someone just handed you $30, would you be like, no? Zest would. Zest would just turn his head and walk away. He'd be like, I'll take 10 and no more. I mean... Just give me the 10. Yes, Archons are good, but like... Zest is one of the first players. The Warp Prism Storm Drop. Zest was one of the first people who did that. Like, a lot of players have done that over the years, but Zest has been known throughout StarCraft 2. I don't just say that as like one of those like the highly acclaimed #1 restaurant in Springfield, Iowa. Like, no. Zest was one of the first players to just be using Warp Prisms for stuff like that. And he just throws them away. What is this? Why is there a pylon? I followed the probe because I knew something would happen, but like, I didn't... Well, it's a gateway. And that's it. That's it, apparently. The probe's just going home. He's not even going to stick around. What if he kills the gate? Or the pylon? No. We don't know what Zest is doing. And Zest might not know what Zest is doing. But whatever it is, it's decisive. It's like, if you want to do a max packs in the streets, but Neeb in the sheets. Which, all of that was uncomfortable to say. It doesn't make any sense. But this is... What if you did 3-gate Blinkstalker, but without the Blinkstalkers? I don't know. Like... And what if it was just 2 gates? What the? And also it was a depths. Well, here we are. Oh wait, and then it's Stalkers, so... Here's what I think of your $30, BYUN. Zest throwing mad shade. I don't even know. Like, is this supposed to do damage? Here come 3 more strikes. He gets the Cyclone, and the Cyclone was a very important part of this. So now, Zest is actually building probes behind that. Like, this is why we build a bunker. Always use a bunker, Terrans. Okay. They say, no, a Cyclone will protect you against this type. Use a bunker. Don't trust a Terran who doesn't use a bunker. Okay? Terrans who don't use bunkers are... They're not trustworthy. And they die a lot. So, probably not healthy either. I don't know why. He's like, well, I built a Cyclone, so I don't need a bunker. You know that was the thought process. Like, I didn't even build, like, 2 Hellions to micro. It was a Cyclone. What am I watching? Okay, and then he's like, okay. Now wait. And now I go for Blinkstalkers. I love the trickle-down shades. That's just... always has a... Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I see you. Nice siege tanky guy. He's microing them around. Oh my god. Oh, the mental damage being dealt right now. Oh. Let's go to the Zest cam. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are Marines, aren't they? Alright, how about another one? Yeah! Give him another one! Ah! Oh, wait. I don't know if that was on purpose. Oh, you never know. He had to let that one go through just to show that he was willing to do it. Alright, I'm willing to let it go through. I'm willing to let the shade complete. I think it might have been a mistake. You never know. Any one of these could be real. It was just a smaller version of what he did in the last match, okay? He's like, you know what takes micro? Storm. So do Adepts. Get rid of the Adepts. Oh my god. I only want to micro blink stalkers. Nothing more. How did this happen? How is this what is happening? What am I watching? Blink isn't done. Beyond definitely would be surprised by that. He's just walking around. He has a third. How does he have a third? Zest is just dominating this game mentally and physically, and that's... Oh. That is as much as I'll say about that. Sign me up. Here we are. I mean, he lost a couple stalkers, but he killed the tanks, so... Beyond can't go anywhere. Wow. I don't even know. I don't know how you deal with this. This has to be some sort of, This is definitely an abusive relationship, but it's also a Starcraft game, so... Which is an abusive relationship just when you hit play. Alright. Like and subscribe if you agree. Zest is... He's got a comfortable 3 bases. Oh no! Oh my god! Wow! Those blinks! I mean, he's gonna lose 3 stalkers, so they ended up being kind of terrible. I choose to believe Zest was waiting until the last possible moment, baiting Beyond into thinking he had caught him off guard, and then showing with such confidence that he had not. Those were some clean blink backs. The problem was he did wait so long that Beyond actually did snipe several stalkers, so it didn't really work out. But mentally, though, the damage. Okay, so now there's just like 20 charge lots over here. So this is happening. Alright. Beyond's coming back. No! No! Oh, Beyond. Oh, no! It's Zest's game. We're all just living in it. Oh, no, he came back. Oh, well, now there's no... And now the stalkers are on the other side. Like, even if he kills all the charge lots, it's... Oh, come on! Come on with that bullshit right there. 5 zealots? You haven't cared about 5 zealots since you were in the Silver League, Zest. The only reason to recall those zealots is to just trigger Beyond even more. Also, that was fake news. Zest was never in the Silver League. He just got placed in the Grandmaster when he installed the game. The boys! Such as they are. He doesn't even have... Oh, well, here come the Zealots changing trajectories. I think more trajectories is more accurate. Because for Zest, Zealots are more like something you just send in a direction. Like one of Zeratul co-op things. As opposed to something you micro. He's adjusted his vector. Oh no, the on siege! Oh, the complete and utter domination is complete. Zest may have lost last game, but he did it his way. He's not losing another. I don't even know what this build was, but it wasn't enough for Beyond to come out on top. Oh my god. Wow, that was something. That was a whole lot of something. Oh my. The way Zest just... It's like, I don't know how you play like that. Psychopath. Like, how do you just not react to stimuli? Like, as a person, play like in a strategy game, or in any sort of, as a human being, like, things happen to you. Like, Jimmy, can we get to the game? Apparently we can't. Apparently we gotta go. But, like, Zest is the type of person who, like, a fly, like say, a fly would land on his food or something. I don't know what he's eating. Like, just raw liver or something of a goat with a human heart on the side. A fly would land on it. He'd catch it with his chopsticks. One chopstick, skewer it, and then eat the fly. Okay? After admiring it for like 30 seconds and recalling a time when he also saw a fly on the corpses of his dead enemies. And then eating the fly. So BYUN does what any self-respecting Terran would do after that, which is proxy 2 Rex, because either way, you get it over with quickly. Well, whatever we do, we're not going through that shit again. Is he just gonna scout it? I can't believe, like, I was very... You know what? Wait, what the fuck? What am I watching? Is that just... Oh, he's sending another probe down, which will then...
Complete.
Oh, he's like, ah, okay. A bunker. How does this change things? That probe was only going down there because he already had 16 minerals. It was not for scouting, to be clear. If BYUN had built this slightly to the left, it would not have been scouted. I'm not even sure BYUN knows it's been scouted. I cannot stress this enough, though. Zest is a threat to society. Though maybe in a good way. Maybe in, like, when Zest allows 20% of the world's population to live, we'll all live in a better place. Maybe. Just to be clear, he is an active threat. Meanwhile, this bunker. So, Zest is building... Is that a Twilight? Because, I mean... So, DTs it is. It doesn't feel like he's gonna break the bunker. So... Yeah, the SCVs are doing a pretty good job. So, BYUN took the initiative this match. Successfully, for once. And the rest of Zest base is going to be over here for now, which is, yes, of course. Where else would you put it? I mean, he can deny the barracks scout. Unfortunately, a barracks just, well, yeah, uh-oh. Oh, does he just GG? This did not factor into Zest's perfect calculations. There's a base over here, and for once! Yeah, okay. There goes the barracks. Zest, just walk by. Just walk all the way by. Oh, he loses a stalker. It seems his calculations have for once been slightly off. It was about 2 pixels away from not being spotted. If Zest hadn't built his... It was in such a random spot. Like, why here? Why exactly here? Why in the middle of the... Like, why not on the edge? And of course, wait. Oh my god. The Nexus was not scouted. Or, yes, or was it the plan all along? Oh my god. Could it be? Is this gonna somehow end up working in ZEST'S favor? I don't think so. He's way behind. But because beyond, like the Nexus with the that's too much. That's way too much. That has to be too much, right? The DT was the decoy for the Nexus, which was the decoy for the Blinkstalker all in. Plans within plans. But the problem is, BYUN has enough of a beat. Like, I don't think BYUN's gonna make the mistake of unsieging all his tanks at once and walking out blindly onto the map. I don't think he will. But like, okay, that's like, alright, here we go. BYUN target fires. And there's a Banshee. Oh, the Banshee just dies. Did he have Cloak? No. He kills 1/6 of the economy. And ZEST'S is like, that's enough for me. BYUN overcomes ZEST with the Proxy 2 race. But that brings us to the ace match. We didn't think it would get here. It's been a dramatic road. Barely resembling any sort of road. But here we are. I think we all need to take a bit of a mental health break at the start of this match. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my experiencing of these matches. Like, subscribe. Click on all the recommended videos. Take whatever content YouTube is force feeding you, or continue enjoying it on Twitch. Or whatever other platforms people have stolen my content and posted to. Tell your friends. Starcraft players. Do what you can. ZEST has not deemed it necessary to scout with the probe. If it's gonna be a 2 Rex, it's gonna come. Wait. No. No. Don't. Don't do it. Please be scouting. But wait, if he's just scouting, that means ZEST has been broke. That's a scouting pylon? Yes? The probe's just leaving, so... Come back here. I guess. I gotta... Okay. Even when he does scouting pylons, they're a bold new strategy. Because no one would ever expect a pylon to be there. They might expect it there, so they'll try to dodge like this. ZEST is already 3 steps ahead. Or maybe he just didn't want to take 3 more what passes for steps with the probe. I don't know. No. No. Oh, it has to be. It must be. He might get blink, but I can't imagine a Game 5 without Zest casually going DTs. Like, that is just... Yeah, of course, you somehow afford Blink and DT. He's getting a robot. No. Has he been made a macro? Has his confidence been shooketh? This is a macro build. He's doing 2-gate Blink Robo. And if he just takes a third, like I said, max packs in the streets, but in the ace match, Neeb sheets. Yes. Oh, there we go. Three more gateways. Wait. Never trust a Terran. Ladies, if he doesn't build a bunker, just say no, okay? Unless you're Protoss, in which case, well, what you just build the bunker. It's not that expensive. Like, the amount of headaches. You already lost 2 SCV, well, 1 SCV. That 1 SCV could have been saved. So this is 4-gate Blink out of ZEST'S, which is a bit more aggressive. It's not all in, but it definitely has all-in tendencies, okay? Like, it's not a clinical all-in diagnosis, but it's not far off. Like, if one thing goes wrong, it could become that. On the other hand, Beyond has a no starport tank timing with +1. Another, like, straight out of Wings of Liberty from the vintage build collection kind of build. I mean, and it doesn't even have a third stage, it's just a bunch of Marines. I guess this is an anti-blink build as well. You got enough Marines to buffer for the tanks, but you kind of want a bunker. Okay. The Cyclone, hello. He recalls, that's, quite a dramatic response for one Cyclone. Like 2 Blink Stalkers warped in. Zest will now get the rest of the tech. I gotta say, this game not inspiring a lot of confidence in Zest. Though I don't know how relevant that is. Just a half-hearted Blink attack into total recall for one Cyclone. Which, yeah, it's a bit of a delay. You can't, like, he's built a whole nother tank and a bunch more Marines. It's a little late to be doing any sort of Blink Stalker action now. Or is it? Yes, it is. It's way too late. That was a mild annoyance for Beyond. At great risk to Zest. If he loses that War Prism, potentially with the Stalkers, Beyond could just walk across the map and probably win the game. Like, what's the best case scenario? Best case scenario is killing SCVs and delaying combat shield. But, like, there is no, like, he's not gonna completely stall out Beyond's economy with 4 Blink Stalkers. There's no hammer about to come down. What's over here? A Marine drop. This Colossus has something to say about that. Ring! Ugh. Okay. Never let Colossus speak again. The Blink Stalkers come in. Are there no there's so many Marines. I thought the boys were on the way with that much on the mini-map, but no. A solid tank push. Oh, Stalkers are here. This is happening. Oh my god, guys. Like, the Stalker versus tank. Oh no. That's a lot of... Zest just doesn't have any of the upgrades or units he needs. He needs, ideally, +1, extended thermal lance, another Colossus. He doesn't have any... Where's the Prism? Like, he's losing... Reshield the Nexus! Oh no. At the back though, like, trying to box out Beyond. a total disaster. Zest just, he thought it was a best of 3. I don't know. BYUN just walks up and not... This is an entirely different game. It's over. BYUN wins. BYUN just walks up, punches him in the face, knocks him out, and that's the match. Getting whiplash. A classic Zest, like, he must have put his jacket back on and been ready to leave the studio after Game 3. Now, while this was like a Wardy online match, the metaphor remains accurate. The only explanation is Zest was done after a best of 3. So BYUN just picks up 2 games to end the series, 3-2. A solid, that's what he wanted to do in Game 1. It didn't end that way. Some of the most insane, like 3 games in a row, 4 games of madness, and 1 game of that. So, congratulations, BYUN. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave your comments, as illustrious as they are. What do you think? We've upgraded the PC. I've changed up some settings. Jimmy's fucked some things up. So make sure to give him some criticisms while he still remains employed for a short time. But yeah, thank you, Wardy, and thank you for watching. Good night. Have fun. Stay chill.